There is a silent struggle that takes place in millions of bedrooms every single night. It is a struggle against the clock, against the darkness, and against the racing mind.
Valent. For the aging body, sleep is not just a luxury, it is the fundamental repair cycle
that keeps dementia at bay and protects the heart from failure and resets the immune system.
But for millions of seniors, sleep has become an elusive ghost.
You lay your head on the pillow and you wait. You wait for the wave of relaxation to wash over you. But it never comes. Instead, you stare at the ceiling, watching the red numbers on the clock tick by.
We are told that this is just part of getting older. We are told that seniors simply need less sleep.
Seniors need just as much sleep as young adults, usually 7 to 8 hours.
The difference is that as we age, the biological machinery that produces sleep hormones begins to rust and fail. Specifically, the pineal gland, the tiny pea-sized organ in the center of the brain that produces melatonin, becomes calcified. It hardens. By the time you are 60 or 70,
Your natural production of melatonin drops to a fraction of what it was when you were 20.
To combat this, millions of seniors turn to prescription sleeping pills or over-the-counter synthetic hormones.
But there is a terrifying price to pay for chemical sleep.
prescription sedatives increase the risk of falls, confusion, and memory loss dramatically. And synthetic melatonin supplements often contain dosages that are hundreds of times higher than what the brain naturally produces, causing desensitization and hormonal chaos. But what if nature provided a solution that was not a pill? What if there was a food, a simple whole food, shaped remarkably like the human brain itself,
that contained bioavailable melatonin in a form your body recognizes instantly?
What if eating a handful of this food before bed could naturally replenish your dwindling hormone levels? Relax your stiff arteries and cool down the inflammation in your brain, thus allowing you to drift into the deep, restorative sleep you have been craving for decades. The food is the walnut. In this comprehensive guide, we are going to explore the sleep science of the walnut. We will explain the exact biological mechanism of how the fatty acids and polyphenols in this nut interact with your brainstem to trigger the sleep switch. We will reveal the connection between your gut bacteria and your dreams, and why feeding your microbiome with walnuts creates a factory of serotonin in your intestines.
Stay with me until the end, because we will provide the walnut bedtime protocol.
We will teach you how to prepare them, specifically soaking them to remove the bitter compounds that block absorption, so you can turn this simple snack into a powerful nightly medicine.
Before we dive in, if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you.
Part 1. The calcified gland and the missing hormone.
To understand why walnuts are a miracle for senior sleep, we must first understand why you are awake.
Deep in the center of your brain sits the pineal gland. This gland is the master clock of your body.
It is sensitive to light. When the sun goes down, the pineal gland is supposed to release melatonin.
Melatonin is not just sleep hormone. It is a powerful antioxidant. But its primary job is to lower your body temperature.
And slow down your brain waves, transitioning you from the high-frequency beta waves of wakefulness.
Part 2. The amino acid highway. Tryptophan.
But melatonin is only one part of the story. To truly secure deep sleep, your brain needs to produce another chemical, serotonin.
Serotonin is the feel-good neurotransmitter. But biologically, serotonin is also the raw material used to make melatonin.
You cannot have melatonin without serotonin.
The building block for serotonin is an amino acid called tryptophan. Walnuts are an exceptionally rich source of L-tryptophan.
When you eat a walnut, the tryptophan enters your bloodstream. It travels to the brain and crosses the blood-brain barrier.
Once inside the brain, it is converted into 5-HTP and then into serotonin. This is the metabolic assembly line of sleep.
However, there is a trap for seniors called the kynurenine pathway.
When there is high inflammation in the body diverts tryptophan away from the brain. It uses the tryptophan to create inflammatory chemicals.
This is why inflammation causes insomnia.
Walnuts solve this problem because they are potent anti-inflammatories, allowing the tryptophan to stay on the correct path.
Part 3. The brain-cooling omega-3.
The walnut looks like a brain for a reason. It is the ultimate brain food.
It is the richest plant source of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, which is a type of omega-3 fatty acid.
Why does fat matter for sleep? Because of heat.
A hyperactive brain is a hot brain.
To fall asleep, your brain, specifically the frontal cortex, needs to cool down.
Omega-3 fatty acids incorporate themselves into the cell membranes. They make the membranes fluid and flexible.
Neuroinflammation is the simmering fire inside the brain, caused by stress, toxins, and aging.
This fire keeps the neurons irritated and firing randomly, preventing the brain from quieting down. The high concentration of ALA in walnuts acts as a fire extinguisher.
It calms the microglia, the immune cells of the brain.
Ferocity. When the inflammation subsides, the brain temperature drops. This thermal drop is the bioful sleep hormone.
Part 4. The gut-brain connection.
There is a revolutionary new understanding in medicine that sleep does not start in the brain, it starts in the gut.
We now know that 90% of the serotonin in your body is produced not in your head, but in your intestines. Your gut bacteria are the factories that manufacture the chemicals of sleep.
However, these bacteria need fuel. They need specific types of fiber to thrive.
Walnuts are a powerful prebiotic. The skin of the walnut, specifically the thin papery covering, is loaded with polyphenols and fiber.
When you eat walnuts, specific beneficial bacteria groups like lactobacillus and rosaburia multiply.
These bacteria ferment the walnut fiber and produce short-chain fatty acids, specifically butyrate. Butyrate is a miracle molecule.
It heals the gut lining, but it also travels to the brain and acts as a sedative. It calms the nervous system.
If you have a chaotic, unhealthy gut, you will have chaotic, fragmented sleep.
Part 5. The Magnesium Relaxer.
Magnesium is the mineral of relaxation. Calcium creates tension and contraction. Magnesium creates release and relaxation.
If you have restless legs, if you have muscle cramps, or if you feel physically tense when you lie in bed.
Walnuts are a dense source of magnesium.
When you consume magnesium, it binds to GABA receptors in the brain. GABA is the neurotransmitter that shuts off the brain.
Intranulase. Most prescription sleeping pills work by artificial stimulating GABA receptors, but they do it violently.
Combining the melatonin and the tryptophan and the magnesium in one food creates a synergistic effect.
Part 6. The Vascular Dip.
For deep sleep to occur, your blood pressure must drop by about 10 to 20% during the night. This is called dipping.
If your arteries are stiff and your blood pressure stays high, your brain stays on high alert, sensing the pressure as a danger signal. Walnuts are proven to improve endothelial function. Walnuts help this lining produce nitric oxide.
Studies show that regular walnut consumption lowers systolic blood pressure.
This lowers the workload on the heart. If your heart is pounding, it keeps you awake. By relaxing the pipes, the walnut quiets the pump.
Part 7. The Fear of Fat.
Many seniors avoid nuts because they have been told that fat is bad. This is a nutritional tragedy.
The fat in walnuts is not the fat that clogs arteries. It is healthy polyunsaturated fat. Research shows that people who eat nuts regularly actually tend to have lower body weight.
This is because the fat and protein in walnuts provide satiety.
One of the causes of waking up in the middle of the night is a drop in blood sugar.
If you eat a dinner of pasta or bread, and your blood sugar spikes, and then crashes at 3 a.m.
The crash releases adrenaline, which wakes you up.
If you eat walnuts before bed, the healthy fat provides a slow, steady burn of energy.
It stabilizes your blood sugar throughout the night, preventing the hypoglycemic crash.
It is the perfect metabolic anchor for a full night of rest.
Part 8. The Soaking Protocol, the secret step.
Walnuts can be hard to digest, specifically for seniors with weaker stomach acid.
They contain anti-nutrients called phytic acid and tannins, which can cause bloating gas and block mineral absorption.
The tannins are also what give walnuts that slightly bitter, dry taste that some people dislike.
To turn walnuts into a true superfood, you must activate them. Place a handful of raw, organic walnut halves in a glass bowl.
Step 2. Cover them with warm filtered water and add a teaspoon of sea salt.
Step 3. Let them soak for at least 4 to 6 hours, or overnight.
Step 4. Drain the water and rinse the nuts thoroughly.
This soaking process neutralizes the phytic acid and washes away the bitter tannins.
It makes the nuts softer, sweeter, and infinitely easier to digest.
Eating soaked walnuts is like upgrading the medicine. You get all the benefits without the digestive stress.
Part 9. The Walnut Milk Elixir.
For seniors who have trouble chewing, there is an even more soothing way to consume them.
Take your soaked walnuts and blend them with a cup of warm water and a dash of cinnamon.
The warm liquid acts as a comfort signal to the body, stimulating the vagus nerve to relax.
Drink this small cup about 45 minutes before you plan to sleep.
Part 10. The interaction check.
If you have a specific nut allergy, obviously avoid them. If you are on a very strict low oxalate diet for kidney stones, be aware.
If you are on blood thinners like warfarin, and be consistent, you should eat the same amount every day.
Part 11. The quantity. The dose.
You do not need to eat a whole bag. About 1 ounce, which is roughly 7 whole walnuts.
Part 12. The comparison to pills. You wake up feeling refreshed, not hungover.
Conclusion. The ancient wisdom.
The walnut is a masterpiece of nature, designed to protect the very organ it resembles.
For the senior struggling in the dark, the answer might not be. You are reclaiming the night. You have lived a long life of work and worry. You have earned your rest.
Try the walnut protocol for 1 week. Let the power of the walnut help you find it.
I would love to hear from you. Share your experience in the comments below.
If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment with 1. If not, type 0.
And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself.